Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Welcome to our next session. Bismillah, alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah. So we are on module 4, and a few more components are remaining for module 4 that we'll be covering next, inshallah. Oh, with that, let's bring it up on the screen. Okay, great. So when it comes to the sharing the resources, we'll be primarily walking with the new Muslim starter pack that we'll show you in momentarily. This is something that we want to go through in the first meeting, show them what this is about, show them a few resources, our approach, our philosophy, and then work through that. So we'll be going into it in details as we talk about each of the mentoring component, which is the motivation, the details, the technicalities, or the fiqh, and then goal setting. At the same time, but before the end of the meeting, you need to have some sort of an agreement and understanding of how much the convert, the new Muslim, is invested in this, how much commitment they can have in terms of what they would be doing, and when can you meet up next. And would it be an in-person meeting, a phone call, ideally a Zoom meeting, a Google Meet meeting, like a video call, or an in-person meeting, inshallah. So this is all in one place. We will be going through it very shortly. The new Muslim starter pack document. I do have some examples of showing, discussing just my first phone call for some of them who did on Zoom, and we were able to record that. So how I walked them through it, how I showed them the different apps. So you can see that there is some other, it's a full playlist of first meetings actually. So if there's a good one, or as you know, things evolve, I keep adding it to this playlist. So you're welcome to check them out, inshallah. Okay, now what we want to do is, before we go into that, and we'll show it in a proper follow-up system of how new Muslim mentoring would look like, let's discuss some common obstacles. So common obstacles, you know, and you can mention it in the first meeting or just be aware of these points. And then inshallah, when it comes up, you can mention that. So one of the things that would happen is, you know, just it's normal. It's like in any other area of life. There are Muslims that a convert, a new Muslim, would gel well with. They will agree with their approach to life. And there are people that he or she may not really agree with. And that's something important to understand, that being Muslim does not mean that you will be 100% aligned with every other Muslim in your masjid, in your community. And, you know, people need to be able to understand that different people may have different philosophies, different approaches to life, different political views and whatnot. And it's okay to have those disagreements. You don't have to agree with their opinion. They don't have to agree with your opinion, you know. And also, some of the Muslims may be your teachers, right? So they may be excellent teachers, but they may not be your friend. And then you may have some people in the masjid or in the community or who are Muslims, they may be your friends, but they may not be very well practicing, or they may not be great teachers. So just like any other area of life, being aware of that is totally fine. Sometimes Muslims may reach out to the new Muslims, trying to teach them about different things and tell them about different things out of goodwill and care. We do try to teach them and tell our Muslim community to take it easy and have one mentor be the primary mentor. But, you know, people out of goodwill, good intention, they do try to jump in. So as we, along with educating the community, we can also educate the new Muslim that if people reach out to them, they can thank them and let them know that you're working with a mentor and, you know, you appreciate their feedback. You know, that you don't necessarily have to say, oh, I'm not ready for this or what have you. You can just take the feedback and do what makes sense to you. And lastly, also to understand that, look, masjid is a public place. It's a service for the community. So don't feel that, oh, I'm new, so I can't be there. Yes, you will walk in there and you will realize that people already have a group of friends. But as you keep coming to the masjid, as you keep meeting with new people, you will find the people, as I said, some people will be your friends, some people will be your teachers, and so on and so forth. So keep coming. Don't think that, oh, I'm new here. No, you have full right to the masjid or any other educational institute. So go there, be confident, and, you know, benefit from the service. So some of the issues that come up is, as I mentioned earlier, that, you know, if you try to be pleasing to every Muslim in the community, that's not possible. Or if you have a particular view of life, a particular political view, or what have you, and you want everyone to kind of focus on that, that wouldn't work either. As well as like, you may be passionate about some sort of a social cause or some sort of a cause in the community that may not be something that every Muslim may be passionate about. So just, finding that support, if you want to work on a particular cause or issue, finding people who are of support to you and then work with them. It may be the case that, some people are focused on something else. So if you think that, oh, everyone should be focused on the cause that I'm focused on, then you will probably not have a great time. So it's just being mindful of that. And obviously don't get overwhelmed, right? So you might come across it, oh, I need to do 10 things. I need to build 10 new habits or drop 10 of my old habits. So that may seem like a lot, right? So you may learn about it theoretically, but work on it one at a time or two at a time at your own pace, because you own that relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you think you can move faster, do that. But if you think you need to slow down, do that. If you cannot do everything, does not mean that you should not do anything. So this is what was coming up, right? Do all or nothing approach. Some people are like, oh, I can't do everything, so I might just drop it altogether. The second common issue that comes up is, realize that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows that Arabic is a different language. You're not being marked in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala on your pronunciation and on your accent. So you may be standing up for prayer and there may be someone standing up beside you and he or she may have a beautiful pronunciation. They understand Arabic, they speak Arabic well. That doesn't mean that Allah is appreciating their prayer more, because what's more important, way more important in prayer, is you and the condition of your heart. For you to make time for prayer, for you to have that conversation with Allah, and Allah is going to reward you based on your efforts. So if it's harder for you to learn and to pronounce, then your reward will be higher than someone for whom it's easy. So you are being rewarded for the effort, not necessarily on the results as well only. So be aware of that. And as long as you have a good balance, because you have two approaches, right? One is like someone is too much overwhelmed with technicality, so they say, you know what, I'm just not going to learn at all, and I'll just say whatever comes to my from my mouth. That's not a great approach. And the other extreme is that you say, okay, well, I can't do it pronounced properly, so I wouldn't pray. So you don't want to have either approach. You want to spend time to learn, putting in effort to learn, and doing your best in the prayer. That's a middle approach, and if you do that, then you will be fine. At the same time, the last thing is to prioritize. Because not every order, not every ruling of Allah is of equal importance. So prioritize, right? So you may have something going on, your mentee may have something going on that may be haram, but you need to prioritize and help them focus and build the momentum with, let's say, prayers, the Friday prayers, and so on and so forth. And this is something that we'll touch upon in the next section on do's and don'ts as well. So if something is bothering them, make sure that you are able to listen to them, how they're feeling, what struggles they are having. And if you're able to solve that, if you're able to recommend solutions, you're not going to make decisions for them, but you can make recommendations. Do that. If you are not sure, ask the bigger team that you have. Ask other mentors. Especially if it's a more involved or deeper psychological and mental issue, make sure that you get them or you encourage them to get proper medical or psychological help. And again, you are there to make suggestions for them. You're there to suggest to them what they can do and so on and so forth. But just don't be like making decisions for them. Oh, you should do this. No, say, look, these are the options. That's the obstacle. If you do this, then these are the pros and cons. Let's talk to other people as well. And then it's your decision. I'm here to support you, but it's your decision. So before you end the meeting, you want to have an agreement on the next meeting as well. When would you meet? What is the person going to focus on this week? Something as a small thing once a day, what have you, which we'll be sharing with you in the next modules. Anything, but have some sort of an agreement, clarity, so that you can meet up, inshallah. And we also have a training manual, which I'll be showing in the next module as well. It also has a few resources that you can keep handy. And obviously, if new thing comes up, we keep adding there. But as you become a new Muslim mentor, or as you continue your operations, you can use this as a reference manual for yourself. So this is basically our module, the last part of module 4. I kind of gave you that overview. Now we'll dig deeper into it and look at each component of our 4-pillar approach. So having said that, let's see if there are any questions, and before we move on to module number 5.